What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. It is Tuesday, January 14th. How's everybody doing? A few days removed from the lifeless performance from our squad on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. The season, as we all know, is officially over. I'm personally not as disappointed as I thought I'd be. I think if we would have played better, maybe shown some more fight, especially from the offensive side of the ball, I'd be a little more down. But the team that we saw on Sunday, and pretty much for the past 3 weeks, had no room in making any sort of run this postseason. Injuries plagued us, not having a reliable option at receiver down the stretch of that game hurt us. And the turnovers, absolutely brutal. One to start the game off. So Keyshawn Nixon fumble was tough to watch. I thought he recovered it, but the refs and the officials in New York thought otherwise. It looked pretty clear from the camera angles that we did see that he did recover it. Matt LaFleur was talking about it as well, said he has not gotten an explanation on what exactly they saw, what exactly happened. And then Jordan Love, 3 picks. Definitely not a recipe for a victory, especially on the road in a playoff game against a team like the Eagles. The first one, I could say you could probably just chalk that up as a good play by Darius Slay. The second one, Matt LaFleur talked about that today on his presser, about how the receiver, Malik Heath, did not run the route correctly, therefore Jordan not being able to put the ball where it needed to be. That was right before the half. Our offense was driving, and Zach Bond, I think a former Badger, made that pick. And then that third one was kind of a prayer. It looked like Bo Melton got mauled in the end zone. No flag. Interesting enough. Not that it would have really mattered anyways. But yeah, 3 picks and a fumbled kickoff return to start the game. Definitely not a recipe for victory on the road against the Eagles. But yeah, since then, we've had quite a few interesting statements from players when they were cleaning out their lockers yesterday. Coach had some interesting things to say today during his press conference, and I'm sure we are going to dive into all of it. Without further ado, if you want to be a part of the show, why don't you give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline? The number is now live on the screen, 319-242-2332. I would love to hear from you. You got a Packers comment, you got a Packers question, you got a Packers complaint, which I'm sure there are many of them. Give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332. Tristan, starting us off here, what are your thoughts on Jair? My thoughts? Well, I don't think he'll be playing for us next season, that's for sure. He didn't seem too thrilled when leaving Lambeau yesterday. He told reporters he was not going to speak to the media since he didn't have anything nice to say. He said he didn't know if he was even going to be back next year. So I guess that pretty much means we'll be without Jair moving forward. And to chalk that up as a loss, I don't think is very fitting because unfortunately he's missed so much time due to injury that it seems like we've been playing without him the majority of the time these past couple seasons. But man, for a team that needs help at cornerback, letting your all-pro, second-team all-pro cornerback leave is certainly going to be a big decision from the Packers front office. I just think with his injury history, he won't be back. We'll see if anything comes out about how his most recent PCL injury was handled. I don't think it was handled probably in the correct way. You remember he came back early, tried to play on it, played 10 snaps in Chicago, and then stayed on the active roster while trying to rehab it before ultimately being put on IR after needing some surgery due to some swelling. So we'll see if we find out anything about that situation. as the offseason kicks off, but that will definitely be one of the top things to monitor this offseason, no doubt. So, Tristan, thanks for hopping in. Appreciate you. Hudson, what's going on, my man? Thanks for hopping in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. Haley, I was pretty heartbroken, not in the fashion that we lost, more so just that the season is over. It's always sad, Haley. I'm with you. To think that we've got another 8 months until Packers football seems wrong. But here we are, right? We've got free agency to monitor here coming up in March, then the draft in April, which is being held in Green Bay, so that's exciting. OTAs, minicamp in late May, early June, and then boom, we got training camp in July. So I will say this, I am hopeful that there will be a move or two before the draft that'll hype up this team, specifically at edge rusher and hopefully receiver. I think I might be in the minority with this, but I don't think our receiver room held up its end of the bargain this year. I don't think they were good enough. Christian was hurt, unfortunately, for a few games, and then obviously missing the last couple of games and the playoff game on Sunday. Romeo Doubs has had some concussion issues and a suspension. And then Jaden Reed had a kind of a fall off during the second half of the season. So Dontavian Wicks took a step back from his rookie season. I thought he was going to have a breakout year. He did not, unfortunately. I think he led the league in drops. He had the same amount of catches, at least during the regular season, but 166 less yards. So, yeah, it's interesting. Absolutely. I think receiver will definitely be the number one thing, or at least the top of the priority list where they need to make some moves. Why don't we go get Max Crosby? That'd be fun. Josh Jacobs was talking about in his presser bringing guys in, recruiting guys that he knows. And, hey, he knows Max Crosby. So I would not mind seeing that one bit. Twan's in the house, my man. Didn't have a receiver room in my book, sir. Absolutely agree. Before the season, I, along with I think most Packer fans, were hyping up the receiver room, saying we don't need a wide receiver one. Any 5 or 6 of our guys can be a wide receiver one on any given Sunday. I am now looking back at that as a false statement. We need a guy like Devontae or T. Higgins, a number one option, a go-to guy on third down, gotta have it. A guy that can come down with the ball. Jaden Reed's had drop issues. Dontavian Wicks, as we talked about earlier, has had drop issues this year. And a guy that's going to stay healthy. T. Higgins has actually missed more games than Christian Watson over the last few seasons. So I'm not sure if he's the answer. But got to get a clear-cut number one wide receiver. Twan, I agree with you. Did not have a receiver room. Definitely did not live up to the hype that was happening before the season. And I am guilty as charged for hyping them up. So, Twan, good to talk with you, my man. I will see you soon, I am sure. What else we got rolling on here in the chat? Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, or Devontae Adams? Give me Devontae. Come on now. What else we got? Raymond. Keyshawn said he didn't want to return kicks anymore. Is that true? Yes, Raymond. That is true. He said he wanted to be cornerback one, and that cornerback ones do not return kicks. So, as Matt LaFleur said in his presser today, that is interesting. We'll see how that shakes out this offseason as well. Quite a few situations that we need to keep an eye on. Is Romeo Doubs okay? Is Jaden Reed's shoulder okay? I know he doesn't have to get surgery on it. What's Christian Watson going to look like as the season starts next year? Will he be on the PUP list all year, or will he be able to come back at some point? A little nugget here. If he does stay on PUP all year, his contract year will then transfer over to next year. So they will not have to make a decision on him after this next season if he stays on the PUP list. But yeah, just kind of goes to show a receiver room crumbled / didn't show up for the majority of the year, and that really hurt our offense, especially down during the second half of the season. We played well against bad teams and didn't play well against good teams. So that just kind of sums up our season absolutely. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long, so be sure to follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. And if you are not already, it would mean a ton if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.